My family here is okay. My family in Hong Kong, I've not had communications with. And I think this is an important point for to be known. There are Canadians across the country who deliberately have cut off contact and communication with families in authoritarian states out of an abundance of caution to protect those families.
Imagine being targeted by a foreign government, your own government knowing and doing nothing about it. Hi, I'm Brian Lilley, political columnist for the Toronto Sun. Michael Chong talking about his family. His family here is fine. He doesn't speak to his family in Hong Kong anymore out of an abundance of caution, he says. It's too risky for him to speak with them because he knows that they're being targeted over his votes in Canada's Parliament. Now, imagine that your country, your government knew that this was going on for 2 years and did nothing. That's what Michael Chong has been dealing with, and it's why he's so outraged. Speaking with reporters in Ottawa, he said that he is someone who takes regular meetings on issues related to foreign affairs, including discussions about China, with experts in downtown Toronto, just steps from China's consulate in this city. And the government didn't tell him anything.
The government knew some time ago that Mr. Wei Zhou, operating out of the PRC consulate on St. George Street and Bernard Street in Toronto, was gathering information on Canadian soil about me and my family in order to further target and intimidate me. And so I was unaware that this individual was at that location working to do that.
Now, the Trudeau government wants to make it sound like they didn't know, that CSIS didn't properly brief them. Let me walk you through how the government actually operates, or how it's supposed to operate. CSIS writes reports. It then sends them over to the government. The Privy Council office received a copy of this report through the National Security Advisor. Trudeau had 3 national security advisors in 2021, and we don't know who held it, but they do have tracking records of this because you literally have to sign for it. In addition to the Privy Council office, which is Trudeau's department, getting a copy of the report, the public safety minister of the day, Bill Blair, and his chief of staff, Zita Astravis, would have also received and signed for reports. These aren't reports that are just dropped in your inbox. These are reports that you, as I said, have to sign for, and then while they're in your office, you have to keep them in a safe. This is how it's done. So people either read these reports, knew about it, and didn't act, or they didn't read the reports, meaning they didn't do their jobs. It's not up to CSIS to go in and barge into the PMO and read the reports or make sure that somebody is reading the reports. It's up to CSIS to deliver the information and then respond to any follow-up. The government should have followed up. Here's why I think they didn't. In July 2021, when they received this report, they were gearing up for the fall election. They were going to be calling an election within just a couple of weeks. Why would they release this information? Make Canadians sympathetic to a Conservative MP, make the issue of Chinese election interference front and center just before Canadians are asked to vote. So my view now is that the Trudeau Liberals knew this was happening. They read the reports. They chose not to act on it. Does that mean the Prime Minister knew? No, people probably decided not to tell him, his political staff. Does that mean Bill Blair knew? Well, if he didn't know, he should have, because he should have been reading his briefs. But I'm going to bet that his political staff knew all about this, and a conscious decision was made not to alert Michael Chong or release this information any further up the food chain. This was political from the start, and it has real-world implications for people like Michael Chong and anyone with family or connections in China, where the government will try and intimidate people in order to sway votes. We finally kicked out the Chinese diplomat. Should have been done back when they found out in July 2021. It's not good that it took so long. Justin Trudeau says Canada won't be intimidated, but guess what? In waiting so long, we showed that we were intimidated. We showed that we were worried about the economic or other diplomatic retaliation that we'll face. This is not a government that is showing a strong footing on this. This is a government that is caught red-handed, doing something they shouldn't have, hiding the information, and then shamefully waiting so long to react in the way any real democracy should. But let me know what you think on this. What are your thoughts on how the Trudeau government has been handling this from the start, and how people like Michael Chong should be reacting? You can leave a comment down below, share this on social media, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.